Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to be watching and reacting to what do English people think about America and Americans? And I always find it very fascinating when you hear other nations, other people around the world talk about your country, how they perceive it, how they look at it. What do you think the good, bad, and the ugly is of your country? And a lot of times it's true. A lot of times it's very true. But sometimes it's just kind of amusing to hear what they think. I recently did one about what do Europeans think of the British? And of course there's the main stereotypes, of course tea comes up, they're very polite, stuff like that. So since I'm not from there, I can't really agree or disagree with those. I don't know exactly what's true. I chime in a little bit of what I do think myself. But let's do this, let's see this. I think it's an American asking, somewhere probably in London, asking English people what they think about America. This won't speak to everyone there, I understand that. So without further ado, let's jump into this. What do English people think about Americans?
No, not yet, but definitely will.
I have been, yes. I've been twice. 3 times. Thrice.
Thrice.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, family holiday.
Right, okay.
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah, I've been to Florida.
Yes.
I've been to America before, yep.
I went to Florida when I was about 16, did all the theme park stuff. Absolutely loved it.
Yes,
World.
I have. Chicago. Never. Really want to. Never been. Yeah, I've been to New York City.
No.
In response to that quick question, seems like most Europeans either go to New York or Florida for Disney World. Those are the two main places that I always hear. Way more New York, but a lot go to Disney World. When I was actually in Disney World just a few months ago, and it's yes, of course, mostly Americans there, but there's so many people from Europe that are also there, and Asia as well. It's a very popular tourist destination. Now on to the next question. What do you think about America?
Just a lot of takeaway food.
I think growing up I always thought America was a very similar place to the UK. Clearly that was very different.
That's fair, yep. For me, I always see like America is almost like the bigger version of England. Like you do things bigger than us. You obviously have the Super Bowl, the halftime show. All of it's like huge. A lot of like musical inspiration and sort of style always starts in America usually, and then comes over to us. I know we got a little bits going on as well in London.
We got the sauce. South London represent.
South London sauce.
Yeah, no, we really love America. It does feel as if you're walking around on a movie set the whole time. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Like we went on family holidays to Florida, and I got adopted by so many American couples when I wandered off on my own. It was amazing.
It's like I see America as really divided. So like parts of it, like the coasts, I would definitely go to and would love to go to. But yeah, like middle America, like not really.
I went quite a bit of time ago, like 5 years. So it was kind of good, but like at the moment, all I know is Donald Trump, I'm not gonna lie. So that's not, I don't like it.
Okay.
The food portions were enormous.
They are,
a
and they're
lot
great.
for breakfast, and like always, so we were always like amazed at how much food there was available for everyone to eat. The biggest impression was the healthcare thing.
You're blessed.
For the food, it's extremely common. Pretty much every time I go out to a restaurant, you get a takeout box and bring it home. So you have a meal out and 1 or 2, sometimes 2 meals when you're back. You could have it for dinner and have it next lunch. So that's very common. I don't know how it is there if takeout is a huge thing. You go sit down, eat a whole meal, and then you get a box to box it up, throw some breads in there, whatever else is on the table, bring it home and have it for another meal or 2. That's one reason why a few restaurants, like they know that'll bring people in. But I do know on top of that, our portion sizes are huge.
There's a country that you've got so many different cultures, so many different types of people, so many different races and backgrounds come into like a big melting pot, and that's what we share as country. So I think patriotic is the big thing though for me though. I think it's like a thing where like you actually have like a kind of a connection with your flag and your country that like not many countries actually do.
What he said there, the US is very, very patriotic. We love the flag, we love 4th of July, we love fireworks, we love anything, America. There's always that chant I'm 100% sure everyone finds extremely annoying over the Olympics, you know, USA chanting that. It's just a thing, a lot of pride. Love our country, love our veterans, stuff like that. So I think you guys have a lot of pride as well, like in some aspects way more than us, which is really nice to see, because I know a lot of people don't like their countries and talk trash about their countries, which is very unfortunate. So to see that another country such as yours is so patriotic, so into the history and the culture, what they've done, what they spread throughout the world, is really nice to hear. It's refreshing after so much that you hear. Keep it up. Keep being the way you are.
I think parts of it are cool. I quite like Florida, New York, the idea of the West Coast, but I think there's parts of America which I just do not agree with. The Deep South, that sort of places, the Trump territory, I just think it's absolutely crazy out there.
It was so cool when I went. There was a jazz festival going on. I'm really into music, so that was amazing. Lots of incredibly large portions of pizza, which was really cool. So yeah, no, I really loved it.
Huge.
I imagined being this like amazing buzzing place, kind of full of energy and a real like love of life somehow, a bit more than maybe we have here. And yeah, big portions comes into it, big portions of food.
As America on a whole, I don't know, it's hard to judge. I think it's very varied.
For me, I have to see it for myself. I can't really say. I've just heard too many mixed reviews, so I got to find out when I get there.
Fair enough, fair enough. I haven't really been to places in the South. I've been through the airport of Texas, you know, been through Dallas. I've been to Florida, which is technically the South. Other than that, yeah, I've never really been to much, honestly, around America. I've been through the West Coast, a couple states that are near. Been to Wyoming for Yellowstone National Park. I've not been to New York. Was in Boston recently. Yeah, like the East Coast, I haven't really been to. Midwest, South, I haven't really been much of anywhere other than kind of like the West Coast. I've been to more countries than I've been to states. It's all about gaining more knowledge. All right, on to this question. What do you think about Americans?
The accent is louder than like us English people. We're known to be quite quiet when we talk, whereas Americans are usually pronounce over you. So yeah, just like the big, very confident, I would say.
Well, slightly disappointed since Trump, but saying that we can't really talk with Brexit, so
I think the interesting...
Two really touchy topics right there. I generally try to stay out of politics in general. I'm one to love learning both sides and genuinely knowing why they believe what they do, and then kind of coming to my own conclusion. So anything with Brexit, I stay away from. I know it's very conflicting. In fact, when I was there in 2018 in London, there was a lot of protests around. I actually have a video on my phone of, you know, all these helicopters flying around. We were right next to the Big Ben and kind of like that square that's near.
The interesting bit for me is that they kind of think America's the center of the universe.
That's fair. It's
true.
So there's not a lot of understanding of what happens in the rest of the world.
I think I'm the most so happy and so willing to talk to everyone. No one on the tube talks to each other. It's not a thing. So many Americans start up conversations on the tube. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool as well.
Yeah, that's true.
They seem really bubbly and nice, to be honest. Like,
thank you.
Yeah,
cool.
They seem really comfortable, like outgoing and stuff.
I think they're open, like to like change and like sexuality, things like that. But it's just like the other small, side that are just hate, full of hate and stuff.
I'd say the first word is loud, as a sort of like, general description.
I agree.
Very friendly, like charming, and want to know about you and get involved. Where sometimes some people would, some other places would step back. So they don't step back from putting themselves out there. I feel having certain expectations based on their lifestyle of other cultures or countries.
I think they're very, very friendly. They can be overbearing sometimes.
I think of the word awesome. I hear also a lot of my American colleagues say awesome a lot. So yeah, awesome. Yes, exactly. Very enthusiastic and like very positive in a way that I think English people are not. So.
Yeah, she's nailed it. Enthusiastic and loud, maybe slightly.
Yeah.
I think.
I want to know too your thoughts about what they're saying. True, false? I think for the most part, everything they're saying is true. Yes, we are loud. And maybe because we're kind of loud and bubbly and happy, we come off as confident. I don't really know what that's all about. And since we get so little vacation a year, like I was ecstatic to have 2 weeks of vacation. No, I got 3 weeks. 3 weeks of vacation after my second year, which is rare around here. So we're probably just over the moon when we're on vacation. We're the happiest people, and that's blasting all of our vacation for the most part. So we're probably in very high spirits when you see us on vacation.
But in a positive way.
Yeah, a lot of them are quite loud, speak their mind, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. A lot of them eat too much.
I mean, they're pretty loud. Wherever you go, you know, you can hear them a mile away. It's not to say that they're bad people. I guess it's just different culture, different way of doing stuff. If they live here for a while, you'll understand that, you know, there's a few do's and don'ts, but otherwise, they're fine. They're not hurting anyone.
With the loudness thing, yeah, I understand how that could be obnoxious. And when I was in Italy, especially Sicily, people are so loud. They're so animated. And we kind of laughed about it at first. It's just like, and that's what people must think about us. You know, it's just like a little ridiculous. Like, why are you so loud? But I turned out to kind of like it. I liked how Italians are loud and really animated. With gusto, they're talking, and I kind of appreciated it. Maybe I'd go crazy after a while, and that's what people think about Americans. Next question, what is something you like about America? I know the next one will probably be dislike, and it's all going to be probably political, because that's kind of when this video came out. Yeah, so 2018, in the midst of it, going through it all.
I think Americans are very positive, and I think often we lack that here. So positivity, okay. Sometimes too much.
Music. Music, yeah, and food.
Yeah, music as well. Yeah.
It's good at being American.
Okay.
So, like, it's good at having its national identity. Maybe it's not something that's felt across the whole, you know, if you go into the country, that people have different ideas of what it means to be American or not and all that kind of thing. So I'm just speaking from an outsider perspective.
I get forward thinking. I think as a country, you've got things which a lot of other countries would love to have, and you're blessed with that. I think when you go over there, you do things in a way bigger and better than everyone else. I think you go over there and you think, oh, it's quite grandiose. It's got lots of things about it. And that's kind of the thing I really like it. And I think as well, it's quite nice to actually share similarities with a country, and I think when you go to America you really do feel like it's not a massive change, or it's not a massive leap, and it's quite comforting, I guess, for British people when you go over, because it doesn't feel too different.
That's true. I mean, of course, it's different over when I went to London, but it's just nice going into another country or in a whole new country. Everything is quite a bit different there, but everyone speaks English. Everyone's really nice. You kind of share this kind of common bond with each other. You've been allies for a long time. We went through a lot together, and it's just nice to know that there's a place like that. It's like when we go to Canada or Australia, same kind of thought process.
Diversity.
I love the culture, the positivity, the food, the beautiful landscape.
I think I love how much variety there is in one place. Like I think they say something about how many people don't have a passport in America because you don't need to come out because you can see so much within. It's
true.
So I think I love that, to have so much variety on your doorstep.
It's usually like the first place to have stuff. So all the new foods or like technology, blah, 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 like America has it. And then we're like, when's it going to come to the UK?
That's crazy.
I think choice and variety. So when it comes to people, maybe even, you know, places you can go or things you can eat, it just seems like there's absolutely everything there. I mean, we have tons and tons of stuff here, but it's not mostly readily available everywhere.
And what the lady said about things come here first, or, you know, are invented here first or made here first, I want to know how true that is and how kind of long it takes to get over to the UK. I have a few friends, for example, that do work in Palo Alto, you know, where the headquarters of some of the biggest companies in the world are. Sees all sorts of interesting things there, you know, driverless cars. You'll see almost on a daily basis in certain areas, they're just testing these technologies around this area. And it's just like swarming with all this new technology and innovation. It's very kind of exciting when you go through there. So I could see how it starts here, kind of blooms on the West Coast, pushes east, and then eventually gets over to Europe and around the world. So that's interesting that she said that. And vice versa.
Trump.
The corruption is so good in America. I think it's better than England because they get everyone to stay hush hush, earn a certain amount of money, and not be as successful.
Guns.
I'm afraid I've got to say Trump. How on earth they could vote for Trump?
Probably how mixed religion is into your politics. So many arguments for and against things. They'd be like, oh, why are you against this? Oh, because it's against my religion, so therefore we should outlaw it.
Right.
I have a real problem with that.
Okay, yeah, actually, you know, I don't like police, like your police America, like, wow, like that is crazy.
So I feel like people subscribe to franchises way too much in America. I feel like it's really franchised. Like, I feel like everything's just like a walking brand. Like, it just doesn't feel as, I feel like at least with London, like, you get a lot more personality from it.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Use of like tons of cars or something, and like emitting, you know, a lot of emissions. But the thing is, I feel like I don't know if I feel that is America is definitely like a big producer of all that stuff, but it's just so. Like everyone uses cars, and I don't know. It just feels like it's an easy thing to say.
It's kind of the kind of people who are in our eyes probably like bigots. Like I think for me the big thing is like everyone needs to be inclusive in the world. I come from London. I'm from a city where there's so many different people that you can talk to, and every single day you experience a different culture, a different way of life, and that's what makes this country great. And there's certain people in America, when you watch them on TV, that you just listen to, and you're like you're slightly backward in your thinking, and it shouldn't be that way.
I think it's the feeling that they think they're the best in the world. That's the one thing.
Am I allowed to say Trump?
Absolutely.
Trump.
Okay, yep, that's fair.
And not so much him, but like what he represents, which is kind of quite an insular, or it seems to me anyway, a kind of insular mentality, which doesn't sort of encourage that idea of liberation and inclusivity, which I think to me is what America stands for. So.
At least she had a explanation as to why, backing up those points. That's what I always like. Once again, I stay away from politics, but I do appreciate, no matter if you agree, disagree, think it's the most amazing thing, don't like it, hear what they think, and then back up that position that they have on that certain topic as to why, and you could appreciate that much more. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. I like the backstory.
Yeah, I find that really a weird break in America, I suppose.
I think it's sort of the nationalism is wonderful in so many ways, but sometimes, like you say, a bit insular, and the sort of the American pride is wonderful in so many ways, but slightly.
Can have a darker side.
Yeah, and I think that's probably what I don't like coming as an outsider into it.
I like
Donald Trump.
A popular
portion sizes.
Portion size, make them smaller.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
I suppose it's just all the things you hear about. You know, all of the problems that are going on with the country and the people who are running it.
All right, that's great. I mean, guns was one of them, and just I think some people of other countries thinks, yes, of course, there's a crazy amount, probably one of the most gun deaths in this country, more than most other countries in the world. It's a huge problem here. It's well known. But out of my whole life, I've never heard or known anyone, and maybe it's just good around here where I live in California, never heard one gunshot before, never had kind of a scare like that before, never went on lockdown in a school, never had a neighboring school, any incidents happen, never heard a gunshot in my life, just out in the city like this. Out when you're in a cabin in the woods, yeah, you will hear them off in the distance, just shooting off and doing target practice, hunting, whatever it is. And certain areas of America, yeah, I'm sure you could live and you do hear shots just in the city, which is crazy to me, but I never experienced it. And I don't know anyone that has experienced it, so I can't really touch upon that, at least people that live in those kinds of areas in the US. Can you give us your best American accent?
Okay, hey man, my name's Dan, and I live on a farm.
Hey Dan.
I'd like to say that my accent's alright, but that's just what English people say.
I don't believe it, man. I just can't believe it. The whole gang's gone. Louis, Snake Eyes, Ritzy, Angelo.
That was pretty
hello, how's it going? I had the most amazing time in Cali. We were on Venice Beach. It was so gorgeous.
So I was walking down the street and...
my name is Greta.
Oh my god, I cannot believe he dropped the baby again.
Hey y'all, my name's James. Gonna get a hamburger and fries? There we go.
Sounds good.
I want to get a cup of coffee in Boston.
Say it every
What
once
do
in
you
a
want me
while.
to say? I don't know, like my best American accent. Is that okay?
That's perfect.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Perfect. That's good.
I want hamburgers and fries.
That's good.
Hey, my name is Danny. I love burgers. And I'm obese, and I'm sorry, that's really but yeah.
That's all right, Danny. Appreciate you doing this, man.
All right,
That's
so
awesome.
in conclusion, that is what the English think of the Americans. It's been a long day, a long trip. So, having said all that and met all those people, this video is finished. Good night.
That was good. I mean, I thought that was great, but I liked what everyone said. You know, if you agree with them, don't agree with them. I could be wrong, I could be right. I don't know, but that's what I like to hear, all sorts of things, especially when it's about your country. And I want to know your thoughts or answering one of the questions that he presented to them. Hearing different points of view or why people think a certain way and then back it up as to why they do. And a lot of times I'm like, yeah, you know what? You are right. You're definitely right with this. Hopefully you enjoyed me adding my own flavor to this, my own thoughts into these questions. I had a good time. I hope you did. If you made it this far, I'm assuming you did. So this has a few dislikes, probably from not happy people, but you know, it's entertaining. It's fun. So thanks for joining, and until next time, next video, have a good rest of your day.